activity. So fast forwarding it to 2016 when my father passed away and I was there. I was the one who tried to revive him. I went into depression. Less than 1% away from crossing over and having diabetes. Every day, 5 kilometers.
So, from the time na nag-start ka up to now, ano na yung mga, I'm sure marami na, pero ano yung mga changes that you can share to the people na manonood? Ano yung mga nakita mo, napansin mo na changes sa'yo?
Good question. Well, a lot of it were benefits. Of course, there were some disadvantages to the lifestyle that I pursued when I went into the fitness thing. But focusing, the advantages will always outweigh the disadvantages. So the advantages that I can think of would be, number one, you'll do it at your own time. And it's just a matter of making sure that you have the discipline to maintain that schedule. A lot of people will always say, I don't have time I have kids.
Yes, actually, I was going to say that. Parang, sorry, I'm so busy.
Yes.
I don't have time.
Yun yung lagi sinasabi nung when people would ask me, sana all, ganyan, or would tell me, sana all may time, sana all hindi busy, ganyan, sana all katulad mo na wala kayong anak,
Mom
na
lang
kailangan
daw kasi
alagaan.
tayo.
Diba? So, I'm like, you mean to tell me that you don't have 30 to 45 minutes of your time each day for yourself? Are you seriously telling me that, diba? So, and that's when people would realize na, oo nga, no, if it's just 30 to 45 minutes per day para mapapawis, parang anong excuse ko? And that's when I started realizing na every time someone would say no, there will always be, or that no statement will always be followed up with an excuse. And that's also how the family then came up with that statement, stronger than my excuses. And if someone like me, who's a regular person, I'm not a celebrity, I'm not like, Mark Nelson or Wilson or any other celebrities there now who've been into the fitness thing for like 10 years, 15, 20 years already. I'm just an average employee who's just making a living, payday after payday. So if someone like me can drop from 274 pounds to now 205 and go shooting for 200, paano pa kayo? Diba? So that's when the statement, if I can, you can. And that's where that statement came from. Number 3, now ask yourself, how can you be stronger than those 3 excuses that you just told me? So, yun yung isa sa mga advantages doon, is realizing all these things that I can do more, I can do better, I can be faster, I can be stronger. Yun yung marirealize mo as you get into this whole ordeal. And before you know it, you're actually doing the things that you were afraid of from the beginning. I mean, like, set for your example. I remember you were very, very hesitant to register for the 21K. And I'm like, and which goes to my second tip. You just go for it. Because the next question there is, when would be a good time to start? And the answer to that question is, there's never a good time to start. There's never a good time. So you might as well just do it. Just start. Just begin the journey. Because yun nga, going back to what I said earlier, gusto mo bang doctor pa magsabi sa'yo kung kailan ka magsisimula? Diba? Or you'd rather start it now and save yourself a lot of hospital bills. And the third advantage to my point would be, going back to the doctor example, the last time that I went to the hospital was yung checkup na yun. Yung 2016 blood test ko. That was the last time I went to the hospital, because I've never gotten sick since then. I mean, sure, I'd get colds and coughs every now and then, depending on the weather, because my body adjusts to the temperature. But other than that, I've never had a fever. Yung dating um, I had my allergies before that. Every morning I would be sneezing. I would have clogged nose. I think it's called allergic rhinitis. Yeah, if I remember
Ah,
it
yeah.
correctly. Yun, to a point I forgot already the term that I had for the condition that I had. It's called allergic rhinitis. I used to have that. I used to spray each nostril 2 pumps of Buticort, yun, yung medicine ko, para ma-prevent yung allergic rhinitis. Kasi asthmatic ako before eh. So in order for me to reduce the risk of triggering my asthma, I had to make sure wala akong cough, or I had to make sure wala akong colds. So yung spray ko sa nostrils na yun before helped reduce coughs and colds para hindi ako matitrigger ng asthma. So yun pa, dahil I started running, my immune system became stronger.
So,
Nawala na completely yung allergic rhinitis ko, and of course whatever
eventually,
triggered my asthma. So ayan, so for the longest time it's yun na yung last time that I went inside the hospital for testing, except maybe yung Milo Marathon, kasi yung Milo Marathon they required a medical certificate with a doctor stating that you are
ah,
fit to run the 42 kilometers. So yun lang yung
ano naman
exception.
yun? Hindi naman yung pumunta sa hospital dahil may
Correct.
nangyari.
So
Fit
yun.
to
So
work, parang fit to work to.
exactly, yun. So I was actually happy and nervous at the same time na baka naman sabihin ng doctor hindi ako fit to run the 42 kilometers. So I was happy to receive that on my certificate. Yun yung 3 advantages that I can come up with. Aside from the fact that you meet a lot of people along the way, and you definitely meet a lot of personalities and attitudes, and everything becomes part of your journey and leads you to where you are today.
Yeah. Actually, saya, no? Sa totoo lang, ang laki na rin nung pinagbago
Mm,
from nung nag-start din tayo nitong mga fitness journey na to. Kasi,
absolutely.
even, outlook talaga sa life, di ba? Parang,
Yes.
ang, so, naman, syempre may mga nega vibes pa rin. Pero I mean, overall, parang mas positive yun. And kilala
Yes.
mo ko eh, as a very reactive, very, alam mo yun, as in,
Don't remind me.
matrigger lang, di ba? Pero ngayon, as in, parang meron talaga akong may processing na talaga siya. As in, maganda na yung vibe.
Yes. And every time you're encountered with a negative situation, you'll always have that thought at the back of your head na, no, I've survived beast. I've survived 21K. Sa akin, I've survived 42K. So, this is nothing compared to that. Yun yung iniisip ko dun.
Yeah. Actually, yun yung sinabi sa akin nung first time kong mag-drive from Manila to Ilocos. Sabi, kasi takot na takot ako nun eh. Tapos sabi nila, di ba nagsa-Spartan ka?
Mm,
Kung kaya mo lampasan yung Spartan, dapat yung pagmamaneho ng 8 hours, kaya mo. Tapos naisip ko,
exactly.
oo, bakit no, di ba? So in
Diba?
fairness, nakaharating ako dito ilang beses na.
Yan. So, yun. You realize a lot about yourself that you never thought you could do. Yun yung isa sa mga main benefits that I found with
That's true.
this journey.
Galing. Thank you. So anong advice mo yon? Kasi mag-New Year na. Siyempre, uso na naman yung New
New Year's
Year.
resolution.
Oo. Tsaka yan yung mga tipong mag-e-enroll sa gym, pero
Yes.
hanggang mga January, February, tapos after nun, tapos na ulit. Hindi na sila pupunta. So anong advice mo? Kasi siyempre, marami yung mga newbies na, well, actually, marami yung mga hesitant na mag-start. Kasi parang, yun nga, sabi mo, paano ba nila hatiin yung time? Or number 2, yung mga nag-start na pero walang drive to be more consistent. So, anong pwede mong i-advise sa kanila?
Yeah, it's very timely that 2021 is fast approaching, and especially with the condition that globally we're in right now, with the pandemic and all. I can already see the Facebook comments na here's my New Year's resolution for 2021, or I can already hear and see the excuses that will be coming up na kasi pandemic, hindi makatakbo, ganyan, bawal tumakbo
Bawal
dito ng
singit.
hindi naka-face shield or naka-face mask, bawal ang gym, ganyan, nakakatakot lumabas. Ang tip ko lang dyan is again, going back to my point earlier, there's no better time to start than now. Just go for it. You survive the first week of doing it every day. Eventually you will come to a point where your body will automatically look for the activity. I remember after my second week of, kasi I had to restart myself, when this pandemic hit. We were inside this the confines of this small home for pretty much from March until we went into GCQ in July yata, or June. So we were just here, and there was no activity for me. So I gained weight again. And that's when I realized I had to restart everything. And going back to my own example, I just had to start. So I had to survive week 1 and I had to survive week 2. Week 3, ayan na, naging automatic na uli sa akin na pagpasok ng 5 in the morning, I would use my lunchtime kasi I follow Pacific time eh. So 5 a.m. would be normally my lunchtime. 5 a.m. wala pang tao sa labas. May mga maybe 1 or 2 runners na mga kasalubong ko. So that would be the perfect time to run kasi at least safe ako from encountering or bumping into people. So ayan, every day yan 5K. And I have to admit, yung first 2 weeks ko, ayan, napansin ko, wow, 48 minutes for 5K. Really? For me? Di ba? Parang, hindi na ako sanay na 48 minutes. Hindi na ako sanay na nakita. And I still have my screenshot na day 1 ko was September of 2020, this year. Yun na, 48 minutes ako ulit na parang, wow, kadiri, I'm not used to that time anymore. So, ayan na, that's when I started re-challenging myself na all I need to do is survive the first 2 weeks, doing it every day. And yan na, so week 2 became week 3, became week 4, until this very day. And yun na, so the perfect tip that I can give for people who will be considering doing a New Year's resolution, don't think of it as a resolution. Think of it as a new you. Yun na lang. Instead of a New Year's resolution, think of it as a new you. Why? Because you deserve it. Your body deserves you to take care of itself. And every time you're thinking of something already to stop you from doing so, instantly cut mo na yung sarili mo and say, no, that's an excuse. No, that's another excuse. Nope, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna stop. My mind is not gonna stop my heart from doing what it wants to preserve itself. And even you'll see a lot of instructional videos on YouTube. Just do some research. You'll see a lot of heat exercises that you can do within a 10 square meter area. Yeah, and all you need to do is really wake up your heart fast enough to go between 135 and 160 beats per minute, and you're set. You maintain that pace or that heart rate for maybe 30-40 minutes every day, and that will pretty much jumpstart your whole journey. Before you know it, week 3 and week 4 already arrives, you'll start noticing the benefits. And yun pa, siguro to add to my tip would be, do not ever feel discouraged, because every time you add 1 hour to your activity, you're always doing better than someone who's just staying and on the couch playing Netflix, di ba? So
That's true. Actually, yun nga rin iniisip ko di ba? Yung kanina kasi minention mo na parang wala akong time, ganyan-ganyan. Pero lagi namang nasa Netflix, lagi nasa
correct.
Facebook.
Yes.
Pwede nga pagsabayin yun eh. Pwede
Yes.
kang alam mo yun, while watching Netflix, bumili ka ng jump rope. Mag-jump rope ka habang nag-Netflix. Kasi
Correct.
ganun yung ginagawa ko. Kasi di ba, ang struggle ko naman is, pag tumatakbo, nabobore ako, alam mo yan. Kailangan either may kausap ako, kahit na nagbi-music ako, nabobore ako. So, ang ginagawa ko ngayon, since kailangan ko pa rin tumakbo, nakikinig ngayon ako ng mga, anong tawag dito, mga podcast tungkol sa, sa stocks. Kasi sa stocks ako ngayon na babaliw.
Yeah.
So, ngayon, really find that thing na pwede mong pagsabayin. Kasi yun, habang tumatakbo, natututo ako, di ba? O kaya, if for example, yung mga may kids, sinasabi na, kasi walang kasama yung kids, paano ka, di mag-exercise ka habang naglalaro yung kids mo, ganyan, di ba? You don't really have to spend a lot of time, not a lot of time, but you don't have to spend a lot of money, you don't even have to go out. Alam mo yun, kahit nasa bahay ka lang, gamitin mo yung mga, kung anong meron kayong balde, meron kayo Di ba? Totoo
Yes, I totally
yan.
agree. I mean, sa akin nga, I remember, I mean, until today, I still use it. Yung meron kaming dalawang 5-gallon containers na bilog. And I would use that to balance my shoulders. So instead of paying 2,500 pesos per month to go to the gym and work out, I'd use those to maintain. So
Totoo. Tsaka
so if
magkano
you have
like,
kids, you use your kid. I mean, you involve yourself.
first one.
You involve your kid in your activity. I've actually seen a lot of people yung crunches nila, yung kid nila nandun sa ibabaw nung abs nila para mas centered yung core. So you can really make it a lot more fun and a lot more interesting and a lot more exciting for you to look forward to doing it day after day after day, because you'll always find something to do in in combination with it.
Yes. Kasi I think kala nila pagkadating sa fitness, magastos, o
Yes,
kaya, anong tawag dito, yung mga complicated na mga equipments, ganyan.
correct.
Lalo na ngayong pandemic, it made me realize na hindi talaga natin kailangan ng gym. Kasi yung mga gamit mo sa bahay, pwede
Yes.
mo siyang gamitin, di
Mm,
ba? So, yun. Anyway, thank you very much for your time, George. And I hope na yung mga na-share mo would also inspire the people na mag-start na rin. Kasi health is wealth talaga.
correct.
More than anything, I think, more than pagpapaganda ng katawan, I think it's really the benefit of mas malakas ka,
Yes.
mas hindi ka
Yeah,
lampag,
mas
tsaka
may
pati
focus.
yung emotionally, tsaka ano, 'di ba? Lahat as in overall siya nakakatulong ang fitness eh.
Right.
So yun,
Well,
that's
thank you for
it.
having me. It's been an honor to be part of the first few episodes of Everything Julian. And if you're not subscribed yet to her channel, please make sure to hit on the subscribe button below. As for me, it's been an honor to be part of this. And again, my name is George, and saying, if I can, you can.
Yes, thank you.